Welcome back to AFTV, everyone. Welcome back to Full Time. Arsenal have beaten Liverpool 3-1, and we're here to indulge in every minute of it. Oh, production, you've put 2-1. You've put 2-1 in the title. You're doing us a disservice. Title of the video, of course, you can see right about there that the score's correct. But there we go. And as you can see from that, there we go. That's your chance to have your say on the show. You know what it's all about now. Download the AFTV Plus app if you haven't got it. And now we've just been told the title's changed. Fantastic. Download the AFTV Plus app and you can have your say. My voice is also gone, so we need you to have your say more than ever. But let's indulge in it. And before we get the callers, which we'll get on very, very, very soon, my good friend Laurie, we have done it.
We have indeed.
Well, we've done it. We've beaten Liverpool.
We've beaten Liverpool.
I'm happy about.
Very, very good performance. Yeah, got to give everyone credit, including the manager. Yeah, great day. Great day at the office.
Did you see it coming?
I must admit, I didn't. My prediction for the game was a draw. I didn't think we'd lose, but I thought that it would be one of those games where there would be goals and the honours would be shared. However, I've got to say, having watched the game, obviously, that 3-1 probably doesn't flatter Arsenal, to be honest. I thought that they were quite comfortably the better side tonight. I mean, I think the possession stats might show that Liverpool had a bit more possession. But let's keep it real, man. Those of us who watch the game and know our football know that Arsenal pretty much in control of that game. I mean, even the goal that Liverpool got came very much against the run of play, and we pretty much gifted it to them. Yeah. I know they did return the favour, so to speak. Yeah. But I think, overall, we were definitely the better team. I'm sure even the most ardent Liverpool supporter will agree with that. For some reason, technical team, I'm getting some feedback.
Yeah, I'm getting some feedback as well. Hence, I've pulled my headphones off. So while that quickly gets sorted, getting the typical Chris Sutton tweeting, you'd think Arsenal had won the title today. It's amazing how the fun police always like to, celebration police always like to rear their heads.
But you know what it is? Those same people, right, if we'd have lost, they would have been the first ones to say that we were out of the title race. Exactly. And with some justification. So come on, man, let us have our moment. I'm going to keep it 100. I never thought we would do this to Liverpool today. Because like I said, not only did we beat them, I thought we beat them with something to spare today. So I'm going to give the players and the manager immense credit. Shout out to Mikel Arteta as well. He got the tactics right and he got his substitutions right. I mean, I've been one of those. I'm going to lay it on the line. I said to him, my fan cam, it's only right. You got to be a man about these things. I've been critical at times of his in-game management. I've said that the substitutions don't always align with my way of thinking, and several others as well have said the same thing. Today, when he took off Martinelli, I think collectively we was like looking at each other thinking, what are you doing? Because Martinelli is so dangerous.
Yeah, and starting Havertz had a problem.
Yeah, and even starting Jorginho. Even starting Jorginho, I'm going to keep it real. I know you, credit to you, because you know what I mean, you'd always advocated for that, but I was one of those that I've always come to think of when Jorginho plays, it's almost like you're trying to keep hold of something. Today he started from the get-go against a team that are known for their dynamism and their energy. And I thought maybe he might have got that wrong, but he more than got it right, because Jorginho was man of the match. And going back to that substitution, so he elected to take off Martinelli and bring on Trossard. We all looked at each other with a bit of ambivalence and a bit like confusion.
Yeah,
so, what are you doing? Is there an injury? What's going on here? Even, I think it's fair to say that even Martinelli was like, he seemed like he was questioning it, didn't he? He didn't seem happy. But to be fair, when Trossard come on, not only did he score, he did really well. So listen, man, it's a great day at the office if you're Mikel Arteta. You saw the way he celebrated after the win, or even when we got the third goal, you saw that. So yeah, man, I'm pleased for them.
Totally and utterly agree. Pat Bateman says, thanks Arsenal, took points from Liverpool and now City just need to win the game in hand and we are back on top. Good job. Pat, listen, we did nothing. I assume you're a City fan, Pat. We did nothing for City, but there we go. Connor says, James, I bet you can't wait for Monday now for the podcast. Look, I'm going to indulge in this one. I'm going to enjoy this because...
Enjoy your moment, man. It's only right that you should do that.
I'll tell you why, right? I'm not even like one to do the whole like... I mean, listen, we all love to do a bit of this, but the whole like, I told you so thing, blah, blah. Sometimes I've pulled, when we beat City this season, you know, and I was telling everyone we can do it, we would do it. My thing is more that I got so wound up by the narrative that came out of end of December / early January, because people were judging football more by results than they were by actual performances. Now, what I mean by that is everyone was going, yeah, expect Liverpool to go to the Emirates and slap Arsenal. Why? What in the previous 2 games told you that's what was going to happen? What, because Kivior scored an own goal late in the FA Cup when we should have been 5-0 up?
Yeah.
What, because Diaz scored a wonder strike in the 96th minute? That was enough to tell you that Liverpool without Mo Salah were going to come and destroy us. A Liverpool side that, yes, going forward might be the best in the league. They're unbelievable. But they leave chances. They leave openings. Like, they do concede opportunities for the opposition, and Arsenal have shown in the last 2 games against Liverpool that they're up to the fight, that they can go toe-to-toe. I think across all 3 games, Arsenal can be way more happy with the work they've done. And I mean that. Went to Anfield, got a point, and beat them in the league. So 4 points for us out of 6 in the league. Yeah, 4 points out of 6 in the league against direct rivals. Liverpool themselves have 1. So in a title race, they've got 1 against their direct rival. That's not really good enough.
No.
And then you talk about the FA Cup. Okay, well, it only means something if you go on and win it, and they might. And they might go on and win it. Fair play if they do. I'm not belittling that. I was gutted to go out of that competition. But the narrative around it all, what? Because we battered West Ham but couldn't find the back of the net. We suddenly became a bad team overnight. People were saying, well, yeah, Arsenal have sort of back to what they were before, just sort of top 4 fighting side. I wanted to show that, no, we are in this fight. We're a very good side, and we might still come third to those 2, but at least be competitive, at least show them that you're in their company. And I think today we got that. So I had a little bit of a siege mentality. I had a little bit of a, come on, Emirates, be loud, players, give your all, and show them you're better. And also on paper, I take our midfield over theirs. They got brilliant midfield. They got very good midfield. Got some very good players. But it wasn't about disrespecting them. It was about propping up our players. And others were just disrespecting what we had, and that annoyed me too. So I'm so happy because I think the team and the club and the manager and the players just reminded everyone we're no jokers.
Yeah, I think that is the message that screams out from tonight's performance, which is that we are back in the title race. No one here is saying, well, I'm not saying that we're going to win the title off the back of this win today.
I still don't think we will.
But what it does do is to, let everybody know that Arsenal are serious contenders in this title race. Because like I said, it wasn't one of those victories whereby, we were up against it and, the ball comes over and it goes off someone's head and we win 1-0. It wasn't a lucky win or anything like that. We were, if not dominant, clearly the better side today, and that augurs well for the future. That being said, there's no point in beating Arsenal 3-1 at home. Sorry, no point in beating Liverpool 3-1 this week and then going to West Ham next week and coming unstuck. And let's be honest, we played them twice this season. They've beaten us both times. So, I'm not getting carried away. It's not in my nature to do that. However, it's a great day to be an Arsenal fan today.
We've got some super chats and we're going to start taking your callers as well. Peter Burns says, first legitimate defeat for Liverpool in the league this season. I agree. I'll tell you, I know what's going to start, right? The Konate red was harsh. Yeah, it was harsh. I agree. What they're going to say? They're going to say, oh, well, if it weren't for Van Dijk, and the Alisson errors for both goals. Exactly. Don't let anyone tell you that Liverpool deserved anything from that game. They didn't. They were poor and Arsenal made them poor. J. Federer J says, Arteta last 4 versus Klopp in the Premier League. 2 wins, 2 draws. Yep. And that's the thing. That's the thing we're meant to believe. And I get it because of what Liverpool have done over many, many years. But let's not I can't even speak. Let's stop looking at just the last few years, or the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years of Jurgen Klopp and the amazing work they've done, right? They gutted their midfield. It's a new team. Mane's not there. Firmino's not there. They're looking at others now. And in the last 4 Premier League games, they haven't beaten us. Does that make us a better team than them? Not necessarily. I'm not pushing that narrative. But what I'm saying is we went into this game with so much you're not Liverpool. You're not Liverpool. But why can't we be? And that's what Arsenal players needed to go out and show. And they did over 90 minutes. They did. Now they need to show it over a season. That's the big thing.
I think that's what's most pleasing for me today, to be honest. The fact that a lot of people had earmarked this game as an absolute must-win game. I, for one, didn't see it that way, if I'm being honest. I thought that as long as we don't lose today, I thought we were still in it. Because at the end of the day, even with us winning today, Still 15 games left of the season till the end of the season. That's a lot of games. Teams are going to drop points. City will drop points. Liverpool will drop points. We will drop points. So listen, it is what it is. But what I'm saying is, this was a statement win today because we needed this win to put us back in the picture as genuine title contenders. And the fact that we did that and did so, would you use the word resoundingly? If not resoundingly, it was clear, man. There was space between us.
I wouldn't say comfortable in terms of we were clearly the better side. We were deserved winners.
Yeah. It was not. I'm not going to say we smoked them. I'm not going to go far to say that. Yeah. But there was separation between the two teams today.
Yeah.
Nobody, even like I said, the most ardent, the most nailed on Liverpool fan would have to admit that they were second best today. You know what I mean? So that gives me a lot of encouragement going forward.
Sadiq says, James, one of those people is AGT. Bless AGT. He said 4-1 to Liverpool. A lot of people forget our performance in the FA Cup and Anfield. Liverpool supporters think we're Chelsea. Come on, you Gunners. I agree with you, by the way, on our performances were... we're good, and people just ignored them. Alnindo says, is Saka just overrated? Martinelli, Trossard better? No, Saka did some good things today, but was frustrating at times as well. Worked incredibly hard.
Saka played well today. I'm not going to have anybody come on here and slate Saka.
No,
he scored a very important goal. He did some very good defensive work. Myself and James highlighted that during our watch-along. Listen, man, he's an important member of the team. People need to stop this. Just because he's not blowing teams out the water and having 9-10 performances every week, his performances should not be understated. Even though he's not been at his best, I think it's fair to say. Look at the numbers that he's posting. He's our top scorer in the Premier League this season. I think he's got the most assists as well. Come on, bro, put some respect on the man's name. He's been brilliant this season, if you ask me.
Richard Keys as well, jumping in on the Arteta should show more dignity.
Who's that?
Richard Keys. Who else?
Is he? He's the chairman of the fund police, isn't he?
Yeah.
What's he having? I mean, I saw Odegaard taking picture of one that looked like one of the cameramen. Maybe there's some significance in that.
I don't know, but everyone can just shut up.
Yeah, man. Listen, man. At the end of the day, when people start to do this type of stuff, right? Like what Richard Keys, then you have to look at it. Lies deeper than that. There's some agenda. He just hating because Arsenal won. Obviously, he didn't see that was going to happen. He didn't want that to happen, and now it's happened. He's just showing his hating. So
it goes two ways. The media, and I'm not going to pretend we didn't overreact at times, but people write off Arsenal and make every bad moment feel like the worst thing in the world. I can be dramatic at times, sure, but then it goes both ways. If you don't want to let us enjoy the highs when we get them, then don't be so cutting when things go wrong a little bit.
Exactly. These will be the same people, by the way, who will talk about football's an emotional game and how the Premier League is so much better than the other leagues because the fans show their emotions and this. And then when you get players and fans showing their emotions, you get people like this coming along and saying, you're overreacting, you're over-celebrating, this, that. Come on, bro.
Yeah, agreed.
It's a great win. It's as simple as that.
Right, let's get into our callers. We're live for the next 40 to 45 minutes, everyone. So smash the like button if you're enjoying it. And, of course, subscribe to AFTV if you haven't yet. And Ryan is our first caller. Ryan, how you doing, mate?
Big up, James and Laurie, man.
Big up, man. Big up.
Arsenal are phenomenal tonight, man. Everyone from a T. I think Rice and Jorginho in that double pivot nullified any of the attacking threat coming from Gakpo, Lotton, and Diaz. And for me, I just feel like Arteta got the tactics and the game plan spot on. It was very disappointing that we went into the second half 1-1 at half time. But I think Saka played wicked today. He was running the channels and occupying Odegaard with... Who did you play up top today? With Havertz. So I think when we got the ball, there's a lot of times where we've watched Arsenal in games this season where we feel like there's no real style or plans when we're playing and attacking. But for me, Martinelli today as well. Him and Jorginho, for me, I can't really pick who was the man of the match between them two. I was very disappointed when Martinelli came on, but oh my God, when Trossard came on as well. We played a lot. We dominated Liverpool in that first half. We controlled the tempo, the intricate, creative football. We were cutting them open from left, right, and centre. I just feel like Klopp ran out of ideas when it got to the second half. But in the first half, they 1-1 flattered Liverpool going into half time. But I just feel like Havertz won't get the praise that he should deserve today for today's game. And people say, oh, it's just one game. He got us the winner against Brentford away, which we were looking like that was going to be a 0-0. He gave Van Dijk a hard time today. And Liverpool made a lot of mistakes. And my dad and my brother are Liverpool, and they even just congratulated me right after the result today. Because a lot of people will give this narrative like, oh, we Arsenal only went 2-1 up because we gifted them. They gifted us that mistake through Van Dijk and Alisson, which I'm not being funny. It has pissed me off a little bit because we gifted them that goal. We should have went into the half-time 1-0 up. And 1-0 flat as them, because I thought Odegaard could have put us 2-0 up as well. We had chances, let's get it right, we had chances in that first half to be at least 2 or 3-0 up.
Yeah,
and
I mean, I said to James, I thought it was
clinical.
Yeah, I said to James, and I'm pretty sure you agree with me, I thought there was clear separation between the two teams today. Did we smoke Liverpool? Probably not. But to anybody that knows anything about football, watching that game, come on, man, Arsenal were comfortably the better side. And to be honest, I think 3-1 is about right. I'll be honest with you. 3-1 is about right.
You know what? And let's. I mean, and as well, I was saying this to, I think I said it to Turkish might have been a couple of months ago. Even though we lost a couple of weeks ago when we lost to Liverpool in the FA Cup, even though we lost to Liverpool in the FA Cup, I was very gutted that we came out of the FA Cup because it's our prestigious trophy that we hold a lot of weight in that regards to. But I just feel like they weren't better than us in that FA Cup game as well. We should have been 3 or 4-0 up in that first half because the amount of chances that we create from the left and right. Ben White and Zinchenko, I saw a lot of overlaps and underlaps today as well. And we were very fluid as well. I'm not saying there were shades of reminiscence from last season's type of football that we was playing. Yeah. And I just feel like the key thing for Arsenal is consistency right now. There's no point winning this game. I'm not going to get ahead of myself. I'm seeing quite a lot from Arsenal fans online, and we deserve to have our fun today. I will say that.
Enjoy the moment.
But there's no point winning this game and then dropping points away at West Ham next Sunday because the gap would then be 5 points again.
Exactly. I said exactly the same thing earlier. Let's enjoy today, but let's not get too carried away because there's no point in beating Liverpool and putting in such a very good performance like this if you then go to West Ham and slip up. And West Ham, and we know this because we played them twice already this season and lost both times. On their day, they're a match for anyone. So we need to be humble, go there confident but not overconfident, get the job done.
And that will be a hard game next Sunday because they lost 3-0 to Man United today. So they're going to want to get their tails up and get one over us again on their fans. But I just feel if we start fast, can we win the league still? I believe we can. But I will know a lot within these next 4 to 5 games because one thing, even though we've won this game, there is still that element of City and Liverpool could still finish above us. We could still end up finishing third. But it's a case of just putting a string of run and results together. Block all the noise from what Chelsea, Man United and other fans and Tottenham fans will be saying to us because at the end of the day, if these players really want it, they will show us what they're going to be made of within these next few months anyway. But who was you guys man of the match?
Just quickly, Jorginho edges it, but I thought not
Jorginho for me, although I'll give a special shout out to Alisson Becker. I thought he was excellent for us today.
Laurie, oh man, you're shameless, but I agree with that in some ways, man.
Ryan, mate, thank you for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Nice one.
Speak soon, man.
You too, man.
Right. Apparently Jamie Carragher's had his bits to say as well about, I don't know, something about get down the tunnel or something. Or,
come on, bro.
I don't know. Listen, it's just...
Listen, I didn't see anything untowards. I saw a bunch of guys, because I think what it is with, people have to understand, and listen, we shouldn't even need to say this, but there was a lot of pressure on Arsenal today, because if we'd have lost or even drawn, a lot of people would have said, that's it for Arsenal, you're out of the title race. Not only did they beat Liverpool, they put in a very good performance, completely nullified Liverpool, beat them 3-1 at home in front of a packed crowd. Come on, who's going to be miserly enough to say that you shouldn't celebrate a game?
Couldn't agree more.
It's absolute nonsense from people. I mean, I haven't heard what Jamie Carragher said, but if he's going there, then sorry, Jamie, you're talking out of turn.
Let's bring in Aston. How are we, my friend?
Hey, Dan, Glory, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm all right, man.
Very, very good.
You know what? Can I just say, just quickly, it's amazing that Aston should call, because that was my dad's name, and it's actually his birthday today. He's passed away now. But yeah, that's quite a poignant moment.
It's an omen.
Oh, man.
It is.
I felt the vibes, and I also felt that the vibes weren't high enough on the show. We just beat Liverpool, the league leaders. Do you have any idea what would have happened if we lost?
Well,
Do you have any idea what every pundit would have done if we lost? And you're going to come in here humble today? Come with chest. Let me read something for you. Let me remind you of something real quick. You want to say that we didn't smoke Liverpool, because we absolutely did. I'm smoking a cigar right now, but I can't show it on TV because it's full of something that, you normies, Anyways, 3.52 expected goals to 0.41. 7 shots on target to just 1. 6 big chances created to 0.
All right.
Where was Liverpool? Don't talk to me about they were in the game. We only kind of dominated them. It was a fair result. We smoked them. We scored all 4 goals, and we deserved all 4 goals.
Oh, we definitely deserved it.
They didn't do anything that game.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
I said, and I stand by it, I was quite unequivocal. I don't think we smoked them, because it wasn't one of, to me, a smoking is 4, 5, 6, them type of ways.
Okay.
I don't think we smoked them, but having said that, we were clearly the better side, and there was at least a couple of degrees of separation between the two teams today. James?
Yeah, I think...
We didn't smoke them, but we humbled their fans for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm not having any Liverpool fans say that the Canate red or the 2 goals were lucky. Listen, please don't put that shameful performance in at the Emirates and try to tell us that Liverpool should have come away with anything. Arsenal were better in every department. Every department. We were better on set pieces. We were better in possession. We were better out of possession. We were better tactically. We were more ruthless in the final third. And then we got a little bit of luck, sure, but we absolutely deserved it. After Kivior's own goal, they're going to start talking about luck. Like, please stop. Like, we absolutely deserved it today. Much the better team.
Their goal was an own goal.
We've been better in all 3 games. I didn't feel we weren't better. We were level.
But Liverpool's
goal today was an own goal. Not only do I agree with that, I kind of want to bring up, what would the pundits be doing right now if it were the shoes on the other foot? They'd be talking to you right now about how Arsenal always choke. Arsenal always bottle it. Liverpool are on top of the league. They needed to win this game, and they came to us with nothing to show. They lost a man, wilted under the pressure, and they buckled. We let them back into the game, and they blew that chance as well. So, again, why do we always have to, after our big wins, be defending ourselves? Yeah. Attack them. Go after them. They're the shit. They're shit. We're awesome.
Yeah, totally agree. Let's talk about Jorginho, Aston, because when we met out in the States, he wasn't an Arsenal player. 6 months later, he was, and I remember the fallout. So we haven't had him very long, but has he very quickly? Is he won fans over? And when I say that, it's all at a certain point, right? I'm not saying, wow, one of the best midfielders we've ever had, unbelievable, start him every week, blah, blah. But have Arsenal fans taken to him in a way that they totally understand they've got a real professional here who'll give his all, but actually has a lot of quality to add to this team, that in certain games, like today, you're going to get a lot out of him. And he's got a huge part to play in this squad, in my opinion.
Yeah, context is everything, though, James. Yeah. You have to think about it. When we purchased Jorginho, we needed a second-choice midfielder to partay. We were pushing for the league. No one's saying that Jorginho acquisition, it didn't win us the league, so people were rightfully upset back then. But as a third-choice number 6, he's the best third choice you can possibly have. What team has 3 midfielders on this level? And again, so no, obviously your attitude around him is going to change. I don't think anybody ever hated the guy. I don't think anybody was ever angry with him for existing. Our tone changed around him because his position in this team changed. And contextually, if I only see Jorginho, a handful of times in the season, we're doing really good.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. What do you think?
I agree as well.
And that's not, let me be clear. That's not to slag off Jorginho. He's clearly had something that, unfortunately, and I can say only good things about Declan Rice, but his passing range is not Jorginho's passing range. Or some of the balls that he put on the players today, and his ability to play quickly under pressure is something that we miss without Partey, something that Kai Havertz doesn't bring, something that Emile Smith-Rowe doesn't bring. Jorginho is an incredibly progressive, incredibly press-resistant player, and it's really, really good. It's just the thing is that he can be overrun, and today he wasn't overrun because we covered for him positionally. Shout out to Declan, you shall not pass Rice.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to pick up on, actually. When the team sheet was out today and I saw that Jorginho was included from the start, I was a bit apprehensive that he could get overrun against a younger, more tenacious, vibrant Liverpool midfield. But then you saw the way he played, and you're absolutely right. The manager covered for him by playing Declan Rice in a deeper line position. So that allowed Jorginho a little bit more time on the ball. And he showed his class, his composure, and most of all, his experience.
Carry on for 1 second, by the way, because I just want to hear what Jamie Carragher said. Someone shared it on Twitter.
Just in carrying on that thought.
You'll notice, that Jorginho was the more advanced of the two today.
That's right,
And normally you would expect that to be Rice and to press up higher, but no, we actually chose to let them have the ball a little bit more, put Rice a little bit deeper, counter press only when we needed to, and it kind of worked out for us. I want to go back to something that you were talking about earlier, though, with Saka. I know people would say, oh, look at his numbers and he's doing just as good, but people always want to kind of slag him off and say that, he's not up to the level. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're seeing. Martinelli might catch your eye because we get the ball to him quicker. So that it's only him against Kanate, him against Trent. It's one-on-one. He's in the box. It's exciting. But what Saka and Odegaard do on the opposite side is nothing short of a miracle. Those two hold the ball between them so incredibly well and allow our entire team to move up the pitch because they just will not lose the ball. It's insane. And I'm tired of the narrative that Saka, for some reason, isn't good enough. Not only that, think about this again. Arsenal were out of the title race if we lost today. We needed players to stand up, and a team that was being picked on for not putting away their chances, and a team that's saying that our players are too young and they're not world class. What two players stood up today? Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
It's time. I'm tired of calling them boys. I'm tired of calling them up and comers. They are Premier League proven, top quality players, and they're better than your players. Whatever team you are, they're better than yours.
No, I 100% agree. I've been somewhat bewildered at some of the criticism Saka has been getting. Yes, he's not hit the heights that he hit last year, but last year was a phenomenal season when people were talking him up as being one of the best top right wingers in the world. You know what I mean? So come on now, people. You know what I mean? He's not hit those heights, but even so, look at the numbers he's posting this season. Look where we are. We're still in with a shout of winning the title. We're still in the Champions League. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. People need to lay off the kid. He's not going to be top draw every single game, but he's been consistent insofar as the numbers he's posting have been excellent, and he's contributing to the team's performances, which I'm happy about. But anyway, bro, very good call, by the way. And let's hope we can speak again next week.
Absolutely. Also, last before we go, shout out to Odegaard, my captain.
He was great.
It showed up yet again in another big game. Thank you so much. And you guys have a good show.
Great call, man. Enjoy the blunt.
He was absolutely brilliant. Oh,
just enjoy it.
Kid, how you doing?
Hi, guys.
Hey.
I'm good. I'm good.
I can't be
did you enjoy Jamie Carragher's?
Right, so I've just heard what you had to say. Now, let me just say this about Jamie Carragher. One of my favourite pundits. I think his ability to analyse the game is absolutely phenomenal. And he does, and I've heard the quote. So basically, Odegaard was taking a picture of Stuart McFarlane, and Jamie Carragher basically said, just get down the tunnel. Like, it's only 3 points. You've been brilliant today, but just, it's only basically saying, relax, like, don't go too far. The thing that really upsets me about all this, right? Not upsets me, but like, the thing that annoys me about these quotes is, firstly, why do people feel the need to police people's fun? What's wrong with that? Like, equally, it's only 3 points. It's equally just a photo. They're not popping champagne. Like, so let's apply the same logic back, right? It's only a photo. Let's all just get on with it with no need to make a scene. Secondly, Jurgen Klopp is the manager who embodies, squeezing every bit of joy out of everything. Look at what people have said over Jurgen Klopp the last week and a bit since he announced he was leaving. His ability to energise that club. What he's done, not just winning 3 points and trophies, but the bigger picture, the bigger spirit. People are enjoying themselves at the stadium. Stuart McFarlane's having a better day for that moment. Erdegaard's having a better day for that moment. Everyone's just enjoying it. And that is what Jurgen Klopp did. He energised everything. He's the guy who sprinted onto the pitch when they scored a last-minute winner against Everton, and that had a load of luck behind it, to hug Alisson in a game in the middle of November or something. Like, why on earth must we be policed in what we do? It's so many people. Like I said, he's the best analyst in the game for me, Jamie Carragher. I look up when I'm doing tactical insight. I try to learn from him and the way he watches the game, and I think he's brilliant.
But that could be the scouse in him coming out. To be honest, the fact that Liverpool,
of course, he's a Liverpool fan.
He makes no secret of the fact that he's from Liverpool.
I think,
even though he's an Everton fan,
he's one of the. Yeah, I think him and Gary Neville. I think it's great listening to them, but I just think they're two pundits, for example, the same as Richard Keys, that just seem to have a vendetta against Arsenal. So if Arsenal lose, the main focus is on Arsenal. If Arsenal win, the main focus is on Arsenal over celebrating a win, which they're more inclined to have whatever celebration. As you said, James, they're not popping champagne. They're not doing stupid stuff. Like, they're having a bit of fun. It was a big performance they put in today. Liverpool, in my opinion, didn't show up today. I think only for, obviously, the goal in the second half, they got a bit of motivation. But then again, when you looked at them in the second half, they didn't really create anything. No. Arsenal were so solid in midfield. Jorginho was fantastic. He's shown, again, in big games against City, against Liverpool, that he can play to that standard and can still put in a fantastic performance. He may not have the legs to chase down balls and that, but he knows his positioning and his intelligence is incredible. No, he's been absolutely unbelievable and easily my man of the match, I think, today. And I think, again, Arteta brought on Trossard when people didn't expect it, and again, another substitute scored a goal for us today.
Yeah, I'm honestly, I'm so happy with the performance. I really wish, and do you know what? This will be the platform where that happens, and many other fantastic Arsenal channels and other brilliant platforms on YouTube especially, where we're going to have the serious conversation like we did at the start of the show. We diverted slightly to irritatingly indulge these celebration police, but what should be talked about today is how great Arsenal were. Now, I've seen better performances from Arsenal at times. This wasn't 10 out of 10 perfect. Everything was brilliant. We need a little bit of luck as well to get over the line. But when you're talking about going up against top of the league, who have lost one game this season and they didn't deserve to lose it, who are missing a couple players, some big ones. We're missing players too. Maybe not as good as Salah, but we miss players. They come here and we know we need to win to stay in this title race. And we have a setback through a little bit of bad luck. But we were totally and utterly dominant throughout. I give them the first 10 minutes of the second half. That's all I give them. And then Arteta makes the changes to impact the game more positively, and we go again. That was brilliant from Arsenal. It was brilliant. We told them that we played you 3 times in the last month and we've gone punch for punch every time. And I think we've come out the least bruised. Now, some people will go, league table, where are Liverpool? Yeah, cool. Talking about these 3 games, I think we can be so proud against what we did against real title rivals. And City will look on going, they'll be grateful because they've gone fantastic. They've bloodied and bruised each other, taking points off. I think City are going to win the league. I don't think either side are as good as them. But I think we can nick second place. And I think our performances have shown that.
And to put on that, as you said, in the league, I know maybe Liverpool are ahead of us, but we've taken 4 points off Liverpool, which is a massive feat. And as you said, it's a team that's only lost once in the league, and obviously it was a controversial loss. But again, it's not a big feat to put that up to them and be that team that at the end of the season, if they go win it, whoever wins it, you can say, look, when we've played in the big games this season, a lot of the teams, we've come away with big results. It's just now maximising on going on to West Ham now, getting 3 points, putting up maximum points we can, if we can, just to get to that end of the season and hopefully maybe come away with something.
Who was your man of the match, sorry?
Jorginho, easily.
Your top three? Because I thought there were some great performances out there.
Jorginho, probably Martinelli and Rice. I think where Rice was very solid in that midfield as well.
I'll give it Gabriel edges Martinelli, but Martinelli was brilliant.
Okay.
But, actually, no. Yeah. Well, no, but Martinelli puts it in the back of one net, and Gabriel, he does the same, but by accident. So I thought Gabriel was immense. A lot of fantastic performances, and it's always a pleasure to hear from you, man. So thanks so much for joining us again.
No worries.
Okay.
Cheers as always, lads.
Very soon. Let me just quickly get some super chats in. So Cesar says, James, we need to talk about our winning of second balls. Xhaka was a second ball machine, and today was the first time I was impressed since he's left. Cesar, that's a great point. I never really thought of it that way. And Cesar, if you know a stat that will prove that we're brilliant on second balls, let me know, because I don't know where I could find that. I don't know a stat that would really prove that point. But it's a very important thing to analyse sometimes, because when we go long and we don't always win that first header, it's more about the structure in place and the players around to retrieve the ball and then go again. And you're right, we did that really well today. Chris says, watch the match and Arsenal were brilliant. Thank you, Chris. I totally agree. Vic says, come on, you Gunners. Looking forward to the watch along tomorrow. Makes it even more better that Chelsea lost. I meant, oh, right. Okay, fine. Vicky's then come in and said, I meant weekend roundup. Yeah, enjoy the weekend roundup. Robbie is going to have his fun, and plenty of people have things to answer for, because when I went on and said 3-1, they all laughed at me. You all laughed at me, but you're not laughing now, are you? Right, let's get our next caller. Hugo, I believe.
Yes.
How you doing, Hugo?
King Arteta. I've
Big
told
win.
everyone.
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
How good was that?
You're
Very well. Laurie, are you all right?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
James?
I'm very good.
Yeah.
Nice to see you both. I'm in a very good mood, as you can tell.
And you should be.
Absolutely, you should be, yeah.
You've said King Arteta. I know that you've always stood by Arteta. Today, we've got to give him his credit, right? Like, the players did their bit on the job, but you know, when you're talking Havertz up front, I wanted Jorginho, but Havertz, I thought, put in a shift at the very least. When you're talking about the substitutions and picking up a really big win and getting the team set up right, to get a win that drags us back into a title race, we could have been out of without a win today.
Absolutely, yeah. And these are big calls. I think the biggest call was to take them over to Dubai. And I know people say, oh, we do it every year. But it's still, they needed to be refreshed. So when they went over, they've come back. That's 3 victories in a row. 3 tricky games as well. No games are easy in the Premiership, especially this one. It was a massive, it was a statement win. And when we think about momentum, when we think about psychology, when we think about games that will take this youngish, I would say now, it's got a bit of experience, team to that next level, it's these sort of games that do it. And it's absolutely massive. And one other thing that Arteta did that people might miss is there was a little spell in the first 10 minutes of the second half where Liverpool they could have scored.
Yeah, they started the second half much better. I agree.
And he did an interview just now on Sky Sports, and he talked about how he had to make little tweaks very quickly. And people miss that. That's the in-game stuff. And you have to be sharp. And that's why I think we've got an absolute great manager. And one of the reasons I say King Arteta is because he's got so many haters, and we've got many people in our fan base that want to change the manager all the time and come out with ridiculous ideas. I think I just want to put it out there that I support our manager. You know, we have to, we've got a very, very good, astute, tactical manager, a manager that has transformed this club amazingly in the last couple of years. I remember, James and Laurie, you can remember, every time last 3-4 years ago, if you thought Liverpool, what did you think the score was going to be? 4-0, 5-0?
I'd have taken a point years ago, yeah.
And how quickly has it turned around?
No, I think the call is...
I expected to win today.
Yeah.
What's that, sorry? What was your question?
I expected to win.
No, I did too.
I expected to win today.
I predicted 3-1. That's the confidence they've instilled, in us as the fans. But I want to ask you one final question, because you touched on something there. You backed Arteta, and I hear it, man, and good on you. He deserves this today, Arteta. But also, you talked about it being a young team that's evolving, and we've added some experience. And one of those is Jorginho. What did you make of him? Not just on the ball, but like, it's so weird that I feel like he's a respected figure on the pitch. I don't know how to explain it. It's like they will give him the ball if he asks for it. It doesn't matter if he's got 3 players around him, who are all faster, stronger, taller. They'll still give it to him. And that says something.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was again on Sky Sports just now, Declan Rice did an incredible interview. Watch it afterwards with Jorginho, and he just said that this is one of the guys I used to look up to. Do you know what I mean? And it's that kind of, and Declan's going to learn from Jorginho. Yeah, he hasn't got the passing ability of Jorginho. Jorginho's a little bit like, I'm not going to say he's Mudryk is Mudryk, but he's got that ability to control the midfield. And he is exactly what we needed. I was a bit with Laurie, but then I thought, in the start of this game, we needed to control the midfield. After that Fulham game, I thought Declan Rice was looking a bit leggy, got overrun. He's played a lot of games for Arsenal, and he needed a bit of support. And I think Jorginho has really, really given it to them as well. So I thought he was incredible. Like, the way he got stuck in and everything like that.
Utterly
but there
brilliant.
was one other point I really wanted to make, was that I think, in terms of the celebrations, we were talking about the celebrations, yeah? I think it's all orchestrated. I think it's part of what Arteta wants. You made an excellent point. I don't know if it was Laurie or James, that Klopp is the one that goes and pumps the crowd up. That psychologically, if you look at productivity, and I study productivity and all that when I'm not clowning around, it's actually something that if you feel good after a game and you feel positive, that transcends into the following games. So when the players are and the crowd's there, like my brother and my dad just came back from the game. He said people were waiting about 10, 15 minutes after the game. Everyone was cheering. That energy will transmit against West Ham. Suddenly that game that might have been tricky becomes a little bit easier. So it's that fist pumping. It's that Gabriel when he got Nunes around the neck and he did that funny face. All of that stuff. You need all of that. Psychologically it helps. I think that people who criticize it don't really understand it. But I'm really happy with it. Do you like it?
Yeah, I love it. Listen, man, I've got absolutely no problem. As James pointed out earlier, Klopp is the biggest celebrator after matches. You've seen what he does with the triple fist pump and all the rest of it. And the Liverpool fans, and not just Liverpool fans, even across the football spectrum, even myself, I like to see it, obviously, when they're not playing Arsenal and doing it. But, there's absolutely no problem with it at all. So, Odegaard celebrating after the game with a camera in his hands, come on, man. It's just a light-hearted moment. And listen, we want to see, let's hope he does it next week as well when we play West Ham.
Mate, absolute pleasure.
That's our bogey team, but I believe we could do it. So back the team, back the manager, man. But you guys are doing a great job. And one final thing, just a big up to Dan Aziz as well. Aziz showed you world class yesterday, my friend. Arsenal fan. Boatsi's going to go and win a title, no doubt. He's incredible. Dan Aziz, you showed your world class. Really proud of you. The Arsenal fan base is proud of you.
Thank
Fantastic.
you very much. Great call.
Mate, thanks for joining us.
Just on that, Dan Aziz, I was at the fight yesterday. Shout out to Dan. He's a big AFTV supporter, big Arsenal fan. He could all be watching this. And if you are with Dan, just want to echo what that last caller said. Great performance. Didn't quite get it over the line in the end, but did himself proud. So, shout out to Dan Aziz from AFTV.
Yeah, absolutely. Echo all that. And look, I'm still seeing a lot of discussion about the celebrations and all that.
So what are the negatives saying? What is their point? What are they saying?
Well, that Arsenal overdoing it, taking pictures on the touchline, Arteta, running up and down like he did. The thing I'll say is, I sometimes think, especially people who work in like media and punditry, they've been around the game, managers, the very best managers, have always over-egged things. They've always overdone it in a way to make a point, in a way to push a very clear narrative in a certain direction. Jose Mourinho, I'm not saying he didn't well, okay, he did sometimes behave like that on the touchline. I remember Porto with the whatever. But he would sometimes say things in press conferences. Sir Alex Ferguson would behave in a certain way, Klopp, and they'd all do it in different ways. The point is, they'd go over the top. We'd go, that's a bit far with what you're saying, with your criticism, or with your praising, or with your complaining about the refs. But the point is, they're always looking for an edge. Now, Mikel Arteta, we've just beaten Liverpool, a side who it takes all your energy to overcome them because they bring all their energy to everything. So you have to match that first and foremost. You need to get into a game state and a mindset that is like totally, absolutely pumped. And apparently the Emirates was like that today, and that's fantastic. I love that. And sometimes that carries over, but it wouldn't surprise me. I think Kean who was suggesting, or maybe someone was, it wouldn't surprise me if that was just part of it. Like, everyone, go enjoy this. Make a point. Let them hate us. Overdo it because you know what? Sometimes it's more fun when you're hated. You know, and there's a part of that. There's absolutely a part of that. The managers tap into that. For some reason, pundits and people just always seem to forget sometimes. Like, well, you think Mikel Arteta isn't clever enough to know what people are going to think of certain things. And sometimes it goes over the top. Like, I did think we were quite an emotional team last year. And if I saw this trend all season, I'd agree. But we didn't. It's just today, having beaten Liverpool in what was our biggest game of the season so far. And I'm totally here for it. Do you remember on the watch-along when Odegaard did this? Now, I'm one on the watch-along. Every time he does it, I go, oh, stop it. We don't need this every week. But today I said I love it. Because today we do need every decimal, every little percentage we can get. And we need it. And I don't know why people can't differentiate between different scenarios and go, yeah, today you needed it. But you know what? If we go mental beating, 17th place at home next season, in 2 weeks' time, then maybe that's not necessary.
With celebrations, I'm not going to lie, I have criticised various people for what I call over-celebrations. So, and I'll give you a couple of examples. So, for example, earlier in the season, I thought Tottenham over-celebrated their draw against Chelsea. Right, I think there are certain players. I called out Mateta.
No, who?
Tottenham, when they got a draw at Chelsea, and Bissouma was what I would term over-celebrating that game.
Oh, was that that was last season?
Oh, was it last season?
Yeah, last season. They drew 2-2 at the
end. Yeah. And he was engaging in various antics, ripping off his shirt, throwing it into the crowd, jumping into the crowd.
Well, what was your issue with that one, sorry?
I just thought it was a bit over the top for a draw, you know what I mean? That was my interpretation.
last minute point at the bridge.
Okay. I've a couple of goal scorers this season. Mateta for Crystal Palace. He hadn't scored for 40 odd games, and he's cupping his ears at his own fans and stuff like that. I think it was Elanga, Forest, earlier in the season. I think it was against West Ham. He scored in the first half, and he ripped off his shirt, jumped into the crowd. So, you know what I mean? There are times when you do look at certain players, you think, come on, man, that's a bit over the top, a bit inappropriate. However, the difference here is this was Arsenal beating the current table toppers in a game that was seen as a must-win game. And like I said, not only did they beat them, but they beat them with something to spare. So today was a big moment for the club, for Martin Odegaard, for the players, for the fans. So I've got absolutely no problem in celebrating. I don't see there was any over-celebration at all. I mean, okay, people like Jamie Carragher going to isolate that moment with the cameraman. They were just having a bit of fun. It wasn't like it went on for 15, 20 minutes. So it is what it is, man. If they're going to hate on that, then let them hate. I've got absolutely no problem with what they did today at all. There's far worse examples. You saw the other day,
I'm enjoying it. I'll take pictures.
Celebrating his goal after a couple of minutes by doing the dart celebration, and they end up losing the match. So, you know what I mean? That's far more inappropriate than what Odegaard did today. So, listen, I've got no problem with it.
Let's get Mans in to celebrate the win as well. Mans, a regular caller. Always great to have you on, mate. How you doing?
Good evening, James. Good evening, Laurie. I got to apologize for my voice in advance. I've had a very bad sore throat, but when lads make this kind of effort and give me this kind of performance today, I don't care if I'm in my deathbed.
Yeah. So did you lose your voice celebrating? Were you too so-called over-celebrating?
Half of it.
Man,
sensational performance.
Yeah. Break it down for us.
Sensational. I thought the first half was a 10 out of 10. If it wasn't for that stupid mistake we made at the end, I thought Liverpool were not to be seen in the first half. So, as somebody who's criticized the lineup before the game, all credits to Arteta, all credit to the players. I've panicked a little bit at halftime. I was thinking we were all over these, an entire half, and we're going in 1-1. How is that possible? So I was hoping in my head that we'll still win the game. I was quite confident we'll still win the game, given how the first half went. So yeah, all in all, a brilliant performance. I'm not going to get into these worms, these snobs who are the celebration police, who are telling us not to celebrate. I don't even take them seriously. Anytime a big game is won between Man City and Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Liverpool, everybody goes crazy. The fans go crazy, the players go crazy. These games, especially when the title race is this tight, and we're talking 2 points, 1 point, every point. Today's game for us was literally between staying in the title race and being out of it. How are we not supposed to celebrate? So I think Jamie Carragher can be forgiven, to be honest. I think this week he's heard that Klopp is leaving. He understands that he's never going to see Liverpool win the Premier League in his lifetime after this season. So, it's all right. We forgive him for that. Very good win from the lads. I thought Kai Havertz was outstanding today. Honestly, the guy that I was complaining about being in the lineup, I thought he made a nuisance of himself in the front three.
He did.
He didn't. Probably the first goal should have been his goal, but going one-on-one against the keeper is not as easy as people say. I play football, so I know.
Something lacks about him in terms of final third real quality, but I thought today that tactically it made sense more than ever. And I didn't want him to start. I wanted Trossard because I feel like he knits things together and he's got that.
Yeah, I wanted Trossard to start as well.
Yeah, and to be fair, we actually saw that with a goal, right? Unbelievable touch and flick around the defender, then he threw on goal. It was brilliant from Trossard. But with Havertz, there was something about the positions he was picking up. I often found myself going, Havertz is there. And it sounds so basic, but just picking up the right areas to support, play the 1-2s, give it back, keeping it safe. Nothing spectacular. But sometimes he was just that cog that just meant the next.
No, but today I've seen him take risks as well, which I really enjoyed. I really liked. He was going past players. He was in a physical battle with Van Dijk and Konate. I thought he was very good today. I gotta say, we've had a lot of conversations lately. Is Arteta underappreciated? I remember me and Laurie having that conversation, and Robbie, before, in the New Year's, I was miserable because of the Fulham game, because of the West Ham game, because sort of the memories of last season came back in when we bottled the title, and I was 95% sure we had it in the bag. So I think I might have exaggerated a few times. I think this team does have it in them to win this league, as much as Liverpool and as much as Man City. And I think that's why I get frustrated when we pull out performances against, not even the performances, the results, I would say, like we do against West Ham and Fulham. So I want this team to learn to be more consistent. I want this team to be mentally stronger, and I think they can be under this manager and with these players. I think Saka showed today he can go past the full back, definitely, like he's shown that in the past, but he has to take that risk. Martinelli was sensational. Jorginho was very good today.
Yeah.
The only the one player that never gets mentioned. I'm going to mention him now. Raya. I thought Raya is sensational lately. His distribution, the way he distributes the ball quickly and cross-claim. Straight away we're on a counter-attack.
Yep.
Absolutely. I'm very proud today. Very happy with the team.
I'm really glad you mentioned David Raya, because people will look at the moment for the equaliser, and I think it's both Raya and Saliba. I don't think either of them cover themselves in glory. No one takes charge.
I put it more on Saliba, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, for me, Saliba, if you're going to shield him, you shield him. But obviously Diaz gets a toe, which means you didn't shield him well enough. But then Raya, he should recognise quite quickly that's what Saliba's doing, and he should come and just take everything in front of him. He was sort of a bit too shy to deal with it. But his cross-collecting, phenomenal. Even when I didn't think he was going to get there, he got there. He knew when to just alleviate the stress and the pressure on his defenders and come get that ball and catch. Not just punch, not just save and pat it away. He caught, and then we distributed. We went again. His passing was phenomenal, and he didn't let what happened in the second half potentially, knock his confidence. He took time on the ball.
Yeah, affect him in a negative way. Yeah. He didn't let that happen. I thought in the first 3-4 minutes of the second half, we looked a bit shaky. We couldn't believe what happened in the end of the first half. So I could see that in the team, but they bounced back quite quickly. So we should still keep our heads level. We have a very serious game next week. So losing to West Ham 3 times in one season is not going to be good for us if we do.
No.
So I think we should really keep our heads level and go there and win. Go there for 3 points. But I'm glad with where we are right now. I'm comfortable with where we are, and I think we can go on a run. if we continue this form.
Yeah, agreed, mate. Sorry, who was your man of the match again? Was it Jorginho you mentioned?
I want to give it to Kai Havertz, to be honest.
Oh, that's fair enough.
No, probably there were players better than him on the pitch, but I really want to give it to him. He made a nuisance of himself up front.
Yeah.
He got Konate a red. So that was a red for me. That was a second yellow for me. So,
I
want to give it to Kai Havertz. The top three were Kai Havertz, Jorginho, and Martinelli. I would say Martinelli. Rice, Martinelli, Jorginho for me. Not in that order. Just they're my top three. Jorginho was my man of the match, but a player that you were right to bring up Raya. So I'm going to throw one back at you, Ben White.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Ben White was, especially that first half.
If Ben White and Zinchenko continue to perform this way, I don't mind if them continue to share wives and all that. I'd go for it.
Yeah, I wonder who'll be sharing wives this week.
Right, yeah. Okay, let's be this. You know what? He was brilliant. I thought Zinchenko was good in the first half, but obviously came off and could be an injury. But Mans, it is always a pleasure to chat to you.
Off, but...
Yeah, I think it must be injury related. But it's always a pleasure chatting to you, Mans. Keep calling in.
Always a pleasure, guys. Yeah. Always a pleasure.
Well said.
Thank you. Right, we've got Zach joining us.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Yeah, good, mate. How are you?
Doing all right. Happy with 3 points. I just wanted to touch on the physicality that we had today.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz was a monster in the midfield, even though, he's playing as a striker. And there's some things that I wish he would have done better earlier in the game. But in terms of getting Konate a red and just playing his physical play was great.
Yeah.
Declan Rice's physicality was great. And these are guys who have come into the team in the last 6 months and have really changed the way that we play. And it's games like this that you plant your flag for a campaign run.
Yeah. Do you think, that's 3 on the bounce now. It's a really good response to what happened against Fulham and West Ham. 3 on the bounce since the Dubai trip. And it's 3 good performances. It's 3 very deserved wins. I don't think anyone's begrudging that Arsenal, those wins and saying, we got lucky in any way. So is this now momentum building time? Because we're going to have to do that. Like City, Liverpool, that's what they've been doing to each other over the years, is pushing each other to go 8, 9, 10, 11 wins in a row just to keep up, or Arsenal will be a part of that.
Exactly. And I think Arsenal do have a chance to do that, because even though today we beat the league leaders 3-1 at home, I don't feel like it was a 10-10 performance. And it's not anything that
I agree with you.
We played poorly in some aspects, but we didn't play to our best standards.
Yeah.
And we could have won even more if, things rolled our way. And that own goal hurts. And I think what I'm trying to say is there's not been a point all season where the 11 have played 90 minutes of mistake-free football.
Yeah,
there's yellow cards given out by, I believe it was White and Saliba for or handing or just sitting on the ball for too long, or it might have been Raya. I forget. I'm sorry, but these kind of mistakes can add up.
Yeah, was it Ben White that got booked for time wasting? Wasn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, because I got the stats popped up. That's distracting me, but it's very good. I'm actually going to share it here with you now. City and Liverpool have had 5 shots on target, scoring 1 goal in 180 minutes at the Emirates this season. Now, that's obviously in the league. We know Liverpool did score 2 in the FA Cup, but it just shows in those 2 games. Arsenal have invited City and Liverpool to the Emirates and won both. 6 out of 6 against those 2 at home. That is really, really good.
It is good.
Yeah. And I think that's due to how powerful we are in the midfield. Like, having Declan Rice is such a game changer.
That's phenomenal.
I still don't think he's talked about enough between the fans and the media about how much of an impact he has on the pitch, game in and game out. Just the way that anytime Liverpool had any kind of a counter, he was there and immediately stopped it.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Yeah. He played an everywhere role, Rice. He was a modern day sweeper. Basically, wherever Rice went to try cover the defensive space that needed covering and help out, Jorginho was just the filler. okay, cool. You got to go all the way to left back to help. I'll hold the central midfield with Ødegaard. And then the same the other way. And it was just like, I don't know, there was a really good partnership between the two. It looked more of a 4-4-2 than it's ever looked, our team. We were normally quite clearly a 4-3-3. But yeah, I agree. The presence that Rice has given us in midfield. Was he your man of the match? Sorry.
I would actually give my man of the match to Martinelli, because the way that he was able to stretch the field out wide was imperative to how we got both of our goals earlier in the game with him on the pitch. And I understand him being subbed off early, because when you're running that hard for that long, you might run out of gas quicker. And being able to have a player like Leandro Trossard come on and make a difference, is credit to Trossard and credit to Mikel for being able to make the correct substitutions and be able to put on players to make an impact on the pitch.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah,
agree.
I co-sign that, because I've got to admit, when Martinelli's number come back, I was a bit perplexed. I think it's fair to say that Martinelli too was a little bit, you looked a bit perplexed as well. But having said that, the substitution work was, not only did Trossard get his goal, as I said, but he actually worked the channels very well, and he looked dangerous and threatening from the minute he came on. So that was a very good substitution. And you're right, caller. You got with a young guy like Martinelli, you can't run him into the ground. There's big games coming up, so we're going to need him, and we need to rotate the squad. So it's excellent substitution.
Yeah, exactly.
It bore fruit, and yeah, man, great day for the manager. I've got to say, you know what I mean. Shout out to Mikel today. Got his tactics absolutely right. We got the win. His in-game management was good. Great day for him. He deserves.
Sorry, what was your name again? Sorry, it's the first time we've met.
Zach.
Zach, mate. Yeah, you made some fantastic points.
Yeah, I've met Zach before as well.
Okay,
He called in a few times. Yeah, well done, Zach.
Yeah,
Nice call.
Absolute pleasure
Thanks,
to
guys.
chat to you, Zach.
Okay.
Pleasure to meet you. Go enjoy the win,
Awesome.
man. Go
Until next
celebrate
time.
it.
Yeah, going to.
Not too much, because they'll let you know about it, but try and celebrate it a bit.
Get that camera out, take a few pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if you can. Zach, thank you. Catch you in a bit.
Have a good one, guys.
Nice
Many
one.
thanks,
Thank you
many
very
thanks. All right, let's get the final super chat in, and then I just want to read out this from Arteta. We'll wrap up the show. He-Man says, Jorginho today is a perfect example of what Partey and Xhaka used to bring to the team. Calm football, playing the right passes and through the lines. I agree. I thought our midfield looked closest in terms of cohesion to what we saw last season today. Now, Arteta was asked about how valuable Jorginho is on and off the pitch, to which Arteta replied, unbelievable. I always say that he's an example, a role model. He's been in a lot of pain because he's had an issue he's been carrying for months. He didn't want to stop. He's been playing with that. He's been training. Always the first one in and the last one out. For all the kids at the club, if you want to look at somebody, just look at him. He's won everything, but you ask him not to play or play 1 minute last week, he's happy to go there. Ask him to play 90 minutes at that rhythm and he's able to do that. I'm really lucky to have players like this. Glowing report of Jorginho, and thoroughly deserved. And sometimes it is that stuff off the pitch as well that doesn't get recognised.
Absolutely.
But
Be interesting to see actually on Jorginho, because obviously he's man of the match today by pretty much everybody's accounts. Will he start next week?
I've been calling for him to play every game, but that's just me. All right, we're going to round it off there. Laurie, a big thank you. Go enjoy the win.
No
Everyone,
worries,
go
man.
enjoy the win. Don't let the celebration police slow you down. Enjoy it. It's not every day you beat a team that you're in a title race with, and you close the gap and you make a bit of a statement, and you can just enjoy that and you can build momentum on it. That is the. You taking a photo? Is that you? Yeah. Well,
Enjoy.
Yeah.
That's my message to all Arsenal fans today. Enjoy. Don't let the celebration police put you off your game. You enjoy this moment, because that's what football's all about ultimately. Enjoy these moments and we move on to the next one.
Agree with all that. Go enjoy it. Well done, Arsenal. Well done to the players. Well done to the manager. Well done to everyone involved at the club. Big win. 3-1 to the Arsenal. We're building a little run. Let's build on it more. Let's go.